Okay, and let me share my screen. All right, so we will start on the lecture first. Okay. All right, we will start on the lecture first, and in the midway, then we will take a short break, and I will also brief you on a little bit on the coming practical test, okay, which is happening on Wednesday. Okay, so let's look at the lecture first. This lecture slides I've already posted in Webull. Okay, you can get these lecture slides in Webull. Okay, so if you have any feedback, like suddenly you cannot hear or you cannot see the screen or anything, you can actually write in the chat, and I'm at the same time I'm actually looking at the chat now. Okay, so if you anytime if you need to contact me, yeah, you can just write through the chat. Attendance, I will post this QR later on. Okay, so stay tuned. Okay. All right, so again, like I mentioned, today we'll be talking about information security best practices. Okay, so some of the well-known cybersecurity breach. Okay, some of the well-known cybersecurity breach that happened recently. Okay, if you follow the news, okay, especially on the cybersecurity, if you follow the news closely. These are a few well-known. Of course, there are many. There are many, even like ransomware attack and all this. But these are the more, how to say, the more well-publicized. Okay, well-publicized cybersecurity breach. Okay, so the first one is the Panama Papers. Okay, so and another one is the SolarWinds supply chain attack. Okay, this is actually a very large-scale attack. Okay. And this is on the Pandora Papers. Pandora Papers is actually quite recent. Okay, quite recently occur. And if close to home, all right. So you have JPN. That means it's your Jabatan Pendaftaran Negara. So this is on your where you register your IC. Okay, so user database is actually for sale in the dark web. Okay, so yeah, these are some of the more publicized or well-known cybersecurity breach. Okay, so let's look into some of the details of these breaches. Okay, so in terms of the Panama Papers, all right, can make it smaller so I can fit. Okay, so in terms of the Panama Papers, all right, so 11.5 million documents are leaked. Okay, so equivalent to 2.6 terabytes of data. Okay, so essentially what happens here is the law firm, all right, the law firm known as Mossack Fonseca. Okay, this law firm, Mossack Fonseca. Now because of this Panama Papers leak, so this law firm is no more already. Okay, they are no longer in service anymore. Okay, but this hack was done by we call this hacktivists. Okay, hacktivists. Perhaps I write it down. Okay, so you have things like a black hat hacker and a white hat hacker. Okay, but then there are some hackers, they known themselves as hacktivists. Okay, basically what they do is they have a course. Okay, they launch some hacking on a certain organization to publicize some costs. Okay, some costs. Okay, so it can be, in this case, they want to actually review on about money laundering. Okay, the things on the cases on money laundering, high profile money laundering. Okay, so it 2.6 terabytes of data were published. Okay, and it involved a lot of entities. Okay, a lot of high profile individuals are involved in this leak as well. Okay, that means their names and their identity are exposed. Okay. Right. So the how these hacktivists, what they do is they hack into this Mossack Fonseca, their system, their server. Okay, this is a law firm. Okay, they hack into this Mossack Fonseca server. Okay, and then they steal all the information. Okay, that means they do some data exfiltration. Okay, they extract all the information. Okay, and then they provide it to a newspaper. Okay, a newspaper. So a German newspaper lah. Okay, I don't know how to spell this. Okay, SZ. Okay, and then this newspaper, okay, eventually release the information lah. Okay, bit by bit they release. All right. So a lot of the individuals inside there are involved, okay, or are suspected to be involved in money laundering or tax evasion, okay, or avoiding international sanctions. Okay, so these are some of the things that happen. Okay, and at least 1,000 over Malaysians individuals, okay, including even politician names are listed inside. Okay, so somehow or rather you thought this happens in Panama, all right, because this Mossack Fonseca, the law firm, is in Panama, okay, and they got hacked. But in Malaysia, actually, it involves a lot of quite a number of high-profile Malaysia individuals as well. Okay, so talking about money laundering, actually, why you might be asking, why money laundering? What is money laundering, and why is that such a big deal? Okay, why is money laundering such a big deal? Okay, so let's just to give you an overview on money laundering. How does it actually works? Okay, one form of money laundering, okay, is something like this. Okay, this is just one form on how they do money laundering. So you have let's say some individuals, okay, some individuals, they got some, they receive money, and this money are undeclared, meaning that they either get it through some illegal means, or they got the money by not declaring it, meaning that they don't get tax. Okay, that means the country itself don't get tax, don't tax this income. Okay, next time you are working, you will know what is tax. Okay, all your salaries will be taxed by the government and all these things. Okay, so they obtain this money which is undeclared, or it is somehow illegal. Okay, and what they do with this money is they will actually open shell companies. Okay, all right, they will open shell companies. All right, shell companies, meaning that companies that don't really offer any legitimate services. Okay, it can also offer legitimate services. Okay, but the purpose of the company is not to offer that particular service, such as like they open a company for with a chain of restaurants. Okay, or initially open petrol station also can. All right, or they open hotels. Okay, and initially the term money laundering, okay, money laundering is actually it started off by one of the how to say, underground society lah, okay, or a black society. Okay, so they actually open up a chain of doby services, laundry services. Okay, and they put their money, that they invest their undeclared money into those services. Okay, so this is how they launder the money. Okay, they open up shell companies. How they open up shell companies? So this is where this kind of companies come in, these law firms come in, the Mossack Fonseca, all this. They are a law firm, but they don't ask many questions. Okay, they just provide the service. Okay, you want to open a company, they help you to open in different locations. Okay, so like in Bahamas, or in those islands. There are a lot of these islands that they call it the tax havens. Okay, tax havens. All right. So this law firms will actually help you to open the, or not help you, will help those people to open these shell companies. Okay, and the money will be actually put into all these shell companies. Okay, the money will be put into all these shell companies, and then the business profit and revenue, they will actually either under declare or over declare the company's profit or revenue. Okay, meaning that if let's say the hotel only generates like maybe 100,000 a year, let's say their revenue, okay, their business people come and stay in the hotel, maybe about 100,000 ringgit or $100,000 per year. Okay, but then they will declare, oh, their yearly revenue maybe is 500,000 or 1 million. Okay, so they will play around with the books here. Okay, and then after that the money will be laundered. That means it will go through the system and it will be clean already. All right, it will be clean already. So this is one way only. Okay, there are actually, if you can Google how to launder money, all right, there are actually a lot of strategies that some people are playing to bypass all this system, okay, to launder money. Okay, but this is one way how people launder the money. Okay, and these are illegal in many countries. Okay, because you number one, the income, okay, the income comes from illegal activities, okay, such as either through extortion or through smuggling and all these things. Okay, and then it actually helps some of this money funds terrorists and all these things. So it's in a lot of countries, okay, this money are actually illegal. That is why these hacktivists, they are trying to expose how money is laundered in this case through this company. Okay, Mossack Fonseca. All right. So the thing is, how did these hacktivists manage to hack the system? Okay, this is actually a very large law firm. Okay, Mossack Fonseca. So that means they actually have a lot of resources, and because they are dealing with a lot of this money, right, they have the resources to put into cybersecurity to protect their system. But how did they actually manage to hack? Okay, so since this case happened in 2016, okay, so people have already done the computer forensics, okay, and have some analysis on how did this attack actually occur. Okay, so for one thing, all right, as you can see here, the company has been running a 3.0 version of Drupal. Okay, and that means the software, this web software that they are running has some known vulnerabilities. Okay, and it was not patched and all these things. Okay, and then their database is vulnerable to SQL injection. Okay, SQL injection. So SQL injection is pretty similar to buffer overflow. Okay, buffer overflow, meaning that you when you input something to the system, right, you input more than what the system is expecting. Okay, so for example, let's say in your password, okay, your for example, okay, for example, let's say your email, okay, so let's say we go to Utah email. Okay, so your student email there, so your password, okay, in this password section there, all right, maybe let's say okay, this site is of course protected from buffer overflow, okay, but if let's say the password, they are only expecting, let's say 5 characters, okay, 5 characters, so let's say 1 2 3 4 5, okay, they are only expecting 5 characters. But if let's say you input 5 characters then plus some code, okay, let's say you input here, okay, 5 characters, 1 2 3 4 5, then you put in some attack code. Okay, you put in some attack code here. So this attack code here, okay, this attack code here can actually infiltrate the system. Okay, can actually infiltrate the system, and it will actually cause, it is a known vulnerability. Okay, it's a known weakness there. Okay, and if let's say they do not, the system does not cut off the additional code, this code can actually enter to the system. Okay, and that is one way how the hackers manage to access into the system. Okay, so this is again, their database is not protected, okay, from this type of attack, okay, SQL injection. And then their network architecture itself is also inherently insecure. Okay, I think last week, Dr. An, when he was giving his lecture, he did mention something about firewall, using firewall, okay, and about your network architecture. Later on, you will actually also see how with firewall and your architecture, how can you actually increase your security, okay, using the concept of defense in depth, okay, defense in depth. So apparently, this company, their system does not have, they do not practice this kind of network architecture, okay, to protect against cyber attacks. Okay, and then some of their system, okay, they are using an out-of-date version, okay, of WordPress. All right, and then in their system itself also, all right, because maybe the staff, they are not really trained. Okay, some of their staff they are not really trained, and the emails, all right, some of the emails, sometimes when they get emails, phishing emails, okay, or attachment, those attachment might contain Trojan. Okay, again, last week we have covered about malware. All right, so I assume that you should know what is Trojan. Okay, Trojans are programs that use that runs a function, but they have some additional code that might might open a backdoor. Okay, it might be a Microsoft Word, it can be an app, okay, your WhatsApp, it can be your, even like if let's say you're using your handphone, your torchlight, you know, the torchlight app and all these things. Okay, it can be a useful, program, but it contains additional things. Okay, so that is what we call Trojans. Okay, that will cause a backdoor and all these things. All right. So, and another thing is there are too many open ports. Okay, too many open ports in the infrastructure. Okay, meaning that their firewall do not close all these exposed ports. Right. So you have learned about Nmap, right? Before this, we have learned about Nmap on how to do port scanning. Okay, so apparently they didn't secure a lot of their ports, okay, using firewall. All right, so this is just one form of attack from the Panama Papers. Okay, so you have another type of attack, right? Another incident, okay, another incident which is called the SolarWinds supply chain attack. Okay, SolarWinds supply chain attack. So this one is even more interesting because it actually involves a lot of high-profile companies. Okay, you're talking about companies like Microsoft, Intel, Cisco, okay, even governments, US government companies, okay, Department of Homeland Security. Okay, they are also, because of this attack, all right, because of this attack, they were exposed. Okay, they were exposed. So essentially, what happens? What happened here? Okay, what happened here? So SolarWinds, basically, it is actually one of their popular solutions. Okay, one of their popular solutions supplied by SolarWinds. SolarWinds is actually a network company. It's a network company, right? So one of their popular solutions is called the network management system. Okay, network management system. Perhaps I show here. All right. So they provide this this solution okay, network management system. Right. So basically, this network management system allow large corporations to monitor their entire network. Okay, you're talking about really large corporations. That means, for example, Google or Microsoft. Okay, you have thousands and thousands of workers. All right, so you want to monitor the traffic. You want to manage the traffic. Okay, open VLANs and all these things. All right, do segmentation, network segmentation, or and stuff like that. All this can be done using a network management system. Okay, so SolarWind provides this solution. SolarWind provides this solution, and a lot of companies, a lot of well-known companies or large corporations, they actually subscribe to this system. Okay, so such as like Microsoft. Okay, then you have companies like Intel. Okay, this the news already has been I mean, this is in the news already lah. Okay, so you that's why we can just mention the names here, right? Okay, so you have companies like Cisco. Okay, they are all they were exposed. These companies were okay. So you have US federal departments. Okay, US federal department. Okay, so you have all these companies subscribing to these solutions. All right. So now the thing is how this attack works. Okay, how this attack works is that the hacker, all right, the hacker actually hack into this the SolarWind system. Okay, they hack into the SolarWinds. Okay, they are the network management system. All right, they hack into here. Okay, and what they do, all right, what they do inside. Okay, once inside, okay, the attackers were able to modify and build, process, and inject malicious code into versions of SolarWind Orion software platform release. Meaning that, okay, once they are inside this system, okay, this SolarWind system, they include Trojans, okay, into the update patch. Okay, they include Trojans into the update patch. All right, and once what happens? What happens now? When the update is released, okay, so all the update patch will go to the clients. All right, all the update because this is all these companies, they subscribe to this solution. So when this company release an update patch, the patch which has already being infected with a Trojan is all released to all these companies, to all these organizations. Okay, so means that all their system as well, since they apply the patch, okay, they will have the malware as well. Okay, all these they will be infected with the malware as well. All right. So like again, what does a Trojan do? Okay, a Trojan can actually cause a backdoor. All right, meaning that after the patch was released, okay, the hackers had access all these organizations as well. Okay, so the implications are until today they are still investigating what is the extent of data that was exposed up to now. Okay, it's very big because many companies and solution providers, many companies and organizations subscribe to this. Okay, so they actually include a Trojan. So as you can see here, more than 18,000 customers, okay, was affected by this SolarWinds. All right, supply chain attack. So my question to you is, as you can see here, Microsoft is one of the companies affected. All right, so just a hypothesis, okay, something for you to consider. From here, Microsoft releases updates to their Windows 10, their Microsoft Office. When you install those software, when you install those patches, okay, is there a possibility this might have exposed your system and our system as well? Okay, this is something to consider. Okay, so yeah, okay, so I mean, you know, sometimes you read, okay, it seems very distant from you, right? SolarWinds, I don't know, this company is so far away. Microsoft, nothing. But then now from here, when it released the update patch, okay, all right, so you might be exposed as well. Okay, so this is, I mean, something to consider, and something that is why you are learning cybersecurity. Okay, that is why you are learning cybersecurity as well. All right, so next, Pandora Papers. All right, Pandora Papers. So this is very recent, okay, very recent. Again, this is done by a hacktivist. Okay, this is done by a hacktivist as well. Okay, and instead of releasing it to one organization, okay, a journalist organization, all right, they release it to a consortium. That means a group of journalists, okay, a group of journalists. So this one involves 11.9 million leaked documents, accumulating to about 2.9 terabytes. Okay, and this activist released it to the International Consortium of Journalists. Okay, and then they started to publish this information. Okay, so in this expose, okay, 35 world leaders are involved. Okay, 35 world leaders, including prime minister, presidents, all right, and billionaires, celebrities. Okay, so your favorite celebrities might be involved in this scandal as well. Okay, in this exposure lah. Okay, these leaked documents might be named in there as well. Okay, several high-profile Malaysians are also listed in the leaked files. Okay, we won't list them down because all these are still being investigated. Okay, so but they are listed. If you just follow the current local news, you will know. All right. So again, this is another cybersecurity breach, okay, that occurs, and that is currently being investigated. Okay, even in Malaysia. Okay, even in Malaysia. And finally, one more. All right. JPN user database for sale in the dark web. Okay, I'm not sure whether you have heard of this incident or not. All right. So apparently, 4 million info. Okay, 4 million of Malaysian info. Malaysian info is being sold. Okay, or being offered. Okay, for around 35,500 ringgit. Okay, they are actually selling it in bitcoins. So perhaps in the subsequent topic on blockchain, then we will learn more about Bitcoin and all these things. Okay, but the equivalent Bitcoin at that particular time is about 35,500. Okay, so and it's being for sale in the dark web. Okay, so this dark web, you cannot access this dark web like just by Google. Okay, you can't just Google dark web and you can enter. You can't do that one. Okay, so you need to use a special VPN. Okay, you need to use a special VPN to access this dark web. Yes, Tor is one of them. Okay, the onion router. Okay, so to how to say to yeah, here is written here. Okay, so the price is about 0.2 Bitcoin. Okay, they are selling this for 0.2 Bitcoin. Okay. All right, so to show that they have the data, okay, to show that they have the data, so they actually publish some like this, the blurred out data. Okay, they actually publish out the blurred out data. So those who want this, they will contact this BTC lah. Okay, yeah. So I do not know. Maybe you can Google how much is 0.2 Bitcoin now. All right. Okay. So this the group. I do not know. Who is being exposed? I think it's from from 1979 to 1998. Okay, so the list of people, the info is released from 1979 to 1998. So I don't know, any of you born within this year, 1998? I think not yet born, right? A lot of you. Maybe your parents are. Okay, so you're 1999. Okay, safe. All right, 1998. Okay, up to 1998. So maybe your parents might be listed inside this. Yeah. Okay. All right. So again, yeah, things to consider here. All right. So we are talking about the legal implications. Okay, the legal implications. So questions to consider here. Who are the victims? Okay, who are the victims here? All right. So you see, is the high profile officials, are they the victims? Okay, are they the victims, or the customers of SolarWind? Okay, the customers, so like in this case, the Microsoft, Cisco, Intel, or the federal department, are they the victims? Okay, or the hacked organization, SolarWinds, Mossack Fonseca, JPN, are they the victims? Okay, so I mean, who are the victims actually? But in this case, who is being convicted? Okay, who are being convicted here? In all the cases, all right, the hackers actually, nobody was able to find the hackers actually. Okay, I think in all the cases, the 4 cases that I mentioned, the hackers were not found. Okay, because they choose to remain anonymous, so they were not found. Okay, so although they were the ones who caused the security breach and all these things, they were not charged. Okay, they were not charged. Okay, in fact, who was charged? Some of the so-called victims were charged. Okay, so like the people who tried to launder money through the Mossack Fonseca, or through who do tax evasion through the Mossack Fonseca, those people, although they subscribe to the business with Mossack Fonseca, okay, but eventually they were convicted. Okay, they were convicted, but in actual fact, were they actually the victims or not? They were actually the victims, right? In this instance, the cybercrime. Okay, they were very rich. They tried to hide the wealth through all these schemes. Okay, but people exposed them. The hacktivists exposed them. Although they are the victims in real sense, but they were charged as well. Okay, Mossack Fonseca, no more already. Like I mentioned, the company. Okay, I do not know how many people actually sued Microsoft, Cisco, Intel. Okay, because they were the customers of Microsoft, Cisco, Intel. Okay, So these are the things that is not what I'm trying to show you here is not in terms of cyber security is not clear cut. Okay, you hack, you are in the wrong. But in this case, you see those who hack, they were not charged. Okay, they were not found in this case. And in fact, actually, the victims, the so-called victims, okay, they were charged. Okay, they were charged in their respective countries, okay, based on the respective laws. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, so like you get has posted here. Okay, bot knew about cyber risk. Okay, but they did nothing. So in this case, although they were the victims, SolarWinds were the victims. Okay, but now you see they were all under investigation and all these things. All right. Okay, so having said that, okay, so let's look at some legal issues, okay, from the federal and national level. Okay, so in terms of Malaysia, what are actually the cyber security laws in Malaysia? Okay, what in Malaysia, what type of cyber security laws? If let's say in terms of the cases here, okay, let's say like JPN, okay, maybe for JPN, okay, this is the closest to Malaysia, the case of JPN. What kind of cyber security laws can they apply to charge those who are in the wrong? Okay, so what are the cyber security laws that are available in Malaysia? Actually, there are not much, not many. Okay, it can be counted by, I think, 2 hands. Okay, 2 hands. Okay, you can count the number of cybersecurity laws. Okay, so there is a cybersecurity laws on copyright. Okay, meaning that you cannot simply take a music and redistribute it and make illegal copies of it. This also works for softwares. Okay, so hopefully all your softwares that you are using are legitimate softwares. Okay, not cracked copies or pirated copies. Okay. Yeah, this is one relevant act that you can use, okay, on cyber criminals, okay, which is Computer Crimes Act. Okay, this is among all the list, this is the one that I see that is the most relevant. Okay, so this is the only one that you can use in Malaysia, okay, to prosecute those that are in the wrong. Okay, the Computer Crimes Act 1997. So it deals with unauthorized access to computer materials. Okay, this is what happens, right? Okay, the hackers hack into the JPN system and all these things. Okay, so an unauthorized access with intent to commit other offense. Okay, and unauthorized access for modification and computer contents. Okay, all right. So this is one of for the cases that we have discussed. Okay, in Malaysia, okay, they can be charged using this computer law. Okay, other than that, you have this Digital Signature Act. Okay, so basically this act, the purpose of this act is to how to say, is to give legal weightage on digital signature. Okay, legal weightage on digital signature, meaning that if let's say you put your digital signature in let's say a contract, okay, with this act, it is legally binding. Okay, it's legally binding. You know, sometimes people say digital signature is not a valid signature. Okay, but with this act here, okay, it acknowledged that digital signature is a valid signature. Okay, so the key takeaway point here is don't simply sign a digital copy. Okay, because in Malaysia, it is actually legally binding. Okay, it's not just your hand, you use your pen, you know, to sign a legal document. That is of course legally binding. But in Malaysia, digital signature is also legally binding. Okay, so what other cybersecurity acts that are laws that are in Malaysia? Okay, you have Telemedicine Act, okay, Communications and Multimedia Act, okay, electronic commerce, electronic governments. Okay. Another important one is this one, Personal Data Protection Act. Okay, Personal Data Protection Act. So this law here, this is in Malaysia. Okay, again, this law governs the information that you give. Let's say to a particular organization. Okay, let's say you want to do a survey, or let's say you answer a survey. Okay, in the survey you need to give your information, your name, your age. Okay, maybe your income or things like that. Okay, so this act here states that the information cannot be resell, okay, unless you give the consent. Okay, so as you can see here, it regulates the processing of personal data in commercial transaction. Okay, so let's say in Shopee, okay, in Shopee, you want to buy something in Shopee, you need to give your information, right? You need to register an account in Shopee and all these things. Okay, so with this Personal Data Protection Act, it states that Shopee cannot take this information and resell it for a different purpose, unless if you read in the agreement there, you agree with this, then yes, then they can use your information. Okay, if not, if you don't agree, okay, they cannot simply sell your personal information. Okay, so these are as you can see here, how many cybersecurity related laws. Okay, yeah, that's the thing, you don't read the agreement. Okay, so how many cybersecurity laws are there in Malaysia? Yeah, copyright 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, it's just about cybersecurity. You only have about 8 laws. Okay, in Malaysia. All right. So our I would say that in terms of cybersecurity, it's not mature yet. Okay, we do not have a very comprehensive list of cybersecurity laws in Malaysia. Okay, but in US, okay, in US, yes. Okay, in US, there are quite more relevant laws in the US. Okay, so you have this Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. Okay, Computer Fraud and Abuse Act. So it encompasses computer espionage, computer trespassing, computer fraud. Okay, damaging a computer, meaning that if you create a malware and those malware starts to cause damage to other organization or other individuals, you can be charged. Okay, you can be charged. Okay, so they have this, okay, trafficking in passwords. Okay, so like you see rocku.txt, all the password inside. So be very careful with that. Okay, trafficking in password, you can be charged in the US. Okay, threatening to damage a protected computer. Okay, so this one can deal with ransomware. Okay, that means you lock the computer and you threaten to delete the things inside the computer and all these things. Okay, or you threaten to do a DOS attack. Okay, so these are what we call cyber extortion. Okay, cyber extortion. Nowadays, again, this is a very popular thing that is in the US. Okay, cyber extortion, meaning that the hackers, these hackers, they contact this organization. Okay, so they say, okay, we are going to launch a denial of service attack tomorrow at 2 p.m. unless you pay 0.2 Bitcoin to this account. Okay, cyber extortion. That means they said, okay, then to give you a sense, or to give you a feel of what they are capable of, okay, they will launch a short attack at 8 p.m. tonight. Okay, sure. So sure enough, at 8 p.m., okay, suddenly the organization will suddenly see, oh, they are experiencing a high amount of DOS, okay, a DOS attack, okay, a high traffic of DOS attack. All right. So again, although they have not done any damage, but they threaten, okay, they can be charged. Okay, those hackers can be charged. So there are laws. It's quite comprehensive. Okay, so there are laws again for identity theft. Okay, meaning that you cannot pretend to be somebody else to access an account. Okay, you cannot steal somebody's identity, somebody's username and password, and access that account. Okay, that is what we call identity theft. Okay, and it can be, yeah, it can be charged as well. You can be charged as well. All right. Yeah. And of course, they have this one, Digital Millennium Copyright Act. This is in 2000. Okay, in 2000. This is on copyright, copyright infringement. Okay, for the US. All right. So these are laws in the US and laws related to Malaysia. Okay, so you can see a comparison how on how comprehensive the laws in the US on cybersecurity and how comprehensive is our cybersecurity laws in Malaysia. Okay, now having said that, you have laws, but we have regulatory agencies and bodies in Malaysia as well. Okay, so these bodies they will help to how to say, draft new cybersecurity laws, okay, in Malaysia as well as in the US. Okay, in US they have their, later you'll see the agencies and the bodies in the US as well. Okay, but in Malaysia, these are the relevant cybersecurity related agencies and bodies. Okay, meaning that they help in conducting digital forensics, meaning that if there's any cyber crime occurring, okay, these are the bodies that will help to investigate. Okay, they will also do auditing, okay, cybersecurity audit. Okay, this is the body. Okay, and they will also do research. Okay, they do a lot of research as well, and this is the body that actually helps in drafting a lot of the new cybersecurity laws in Malaysia. This is one of them, okay, Cybersecurity Malaysia. Okay, you have MCMC. Okay, this one deals mainly on the communication, broadcasting and communication. Okay, so things like news. Okay, they regulate what news goes out to the public. They regulate on fake news. Okay, so if let's say that there is an individual who spread fake news, okay, especially now during this pandemic period, the fake news, a lot of fake news going around, right, on vaccines. Oh, you take vaccine, okay, it's not good, or some of the vaccines is not that effective, and all these things. A lot of this fake news that is going around on this. Okay, so this is the regulating body that will regulate the information flow in Malaysia. Okay, so that is why a lot of times they say don't spread fake news or unverified news. Okay, because there is a regulating body that will there is a regulating body that will actually go after you. Okay, if you spread fake news. Okay, all right. So in terms of academic, we have this MBOT, okay, Malaysia Board of Technology. So this is a regulating body, okay, that oversees academic or technology related qualification. Okay, technology related qualification. Okay, so this is a body, Malaysia Board of Technologies. So in terms of qualification, UTA, okay, UTA has recently been audited by Malaysia Board of Technology, meaning that our courses, all our courses, CN, CS, IA, IB, CT, all will be regulated under Malaysia Board of Technologies. Okay, because we also teach technology related contents. Okay, all your degree here is technology related, IT related. Okay, so we are regulated. That means the contents are regulated. Okay, and just some information here. Okay, So Utah FICT graduates, okay, so after you guys complete your studies, okay, all of you are eligible to register as a graduate technologist, okay, under MBOT. Okay, all of you are eligible to register as a graduate technologist under this Malaysia Board of Technologies. Okay, so this is the purpose of why we are regulated and we are audited. Okay, your courses are audited by this Malaysia Board of Technologies. Okay, yeah, this is the purpose of MBOT. Okay, so to be a world-class professional body. Okay, so once you graduate, you can register yourself as a graduate technologist. So you'll be part of this professional body, the MBOT professional body. Okay, so to increase the skill of the pool of skilled workforce. Okay, so this is their objective. You can read their visions and missions and objectives here. Okay. So what about international professional bodies? Okay, so we have things like Association of Computing Machinery. Okay, ACM. Okay, so ACM is another professional body. Okay, and our courses. Okay, our courses also follow the guidelines as stated by this Association of Computing Machinery. Okay, so our courses are okay. Utah IT courses, we also follow them. Okay, and although we are not audited by them lah, okay, but we follow their guidelines, their computing guidelines as well. Okay, and then this is a professional association. Okay, this is well known for especially for security lah. Okay, Systems Administrations Network and Security Institute, the SANS Institute. Okay, so next time after you graduate, okay, and you are working in a company, okay, if let's say you are in cyber security related, okay, the organization might send you to obtain this certification. Okay, a SANS certification. So again, it's another professional certification. Okay, so if let's say you show to other people you have a SANS certification, okay, it will show that okay, you have undergone the modules, okay, and the training conducted by this institution. Okay, so you have some level of understanding in terms of networking and cybersecurity. Okay, in US, okay, in US, key federal agencies that are related to cybersecurity. Okay, key federal agencies that are related to cybersecurity are Department of Homeland Security. Okay, so Department of Homeland Security are basically DHS. Okay, Department of Homeland Security deals with security within the nation. Okay, all right, it deals with security within the nation. All right, within the nation. Okay, that means this one will be within the US. Okay, the irony is, okay, this is Department of Homeland Security, right? Okay, Department of Homeland Security. They were also involved when the SolarWinds, this one. Okay, in the SolarWinds hack. All right, in the SolarWinds hack, okay, one of the clients involved was the Department of Homeland Security. That means they were affected as well. Okay, all right, they were affected as well in this SolarWinds supply chain attack. Okay, so this is some irony lah. Okay, some irony. Okay, and of course, FBI is as well. They have a department. Okay, the FBI, they have a department on cybersecurity as well. Okay, so they maintain an intrusion alert network. All right. Yeah, they have a help desk and all these things. All right. So FBI itself has a division on cybersecurity. Okay. Apart from that, you have the NSA, okay, National Security Agency. So this one will deal more on the not just the forensics itself, but on the cryptography. Okay, so they deal a lot on the cryptography. All right, they deal a lot on this cryptography. Okay, and like new topics okay, new topics are new algorithms on cryptography. Okay, they are involved in a lot of those research. Okay, and they also regulate the flow of cryptography technology. Okay, the flow of cryptography technology out from the US. Okay, and finally, you have the Secret Service. Okay, so Secret Service itself is also involved in. They have a division on cybersecurity. So no, it's not just protecting the president. Okay, I know a lot of you when you say Secret Service, or every time it's protecting the president. Okay, but not necessary. They are also involved in cybersecurity as well. Okay, so these are the relevant US federal agencies. Okay, involved in cybersecurity. Now, why am I mentioning all this? Okay, what has it got to do with Malaysia? Okay, what has it got to do with Malaysia? If let's say a hacker launch an attack that originates from Malaysia, shouldn't Malaysia government be responsible to enforce these cybersecurity laws? Okay, shouldn't the Malaysia police, okay, be involved? Okay, not necessary. Okay, so look at this case here. Okay, they can actually be cross-border enforcement. Okay, I don't know if you have read on this news before. Okay, but it was in the news. Okay, 2 men held in Perak to be extradited to US over cyber crimes. Okay, all right, 2 men held in Perak, okay, to be extradited to US. Okay, so we have this cross-border enforcement as well. So don't just don't just ignore. Yeah, it was not in Kampar, but it was in Perak lah. I think it was in Ipoh, if I'm not mistaken. All right, I think it was in Ipoh. Okay, so these 2 men apparently they are wanted for doing some illegal gaming, selling of illegal gaming artifacts. Okay, I suspect that they sell these gaming artifacts to launder money. Okay, to launder money. All right, I mean, I suspect lah. Okay, the details are not given because usually they won't give the details on this so that people don't actually learn how to do it as well. Okay, so usually they will just give an overview on the report. Okay, so but I suspect they are, because if let's say you're just selling gaming artifacts, I don't think why would US want to extradite them lah? Okay, why would US purposely want this too? Okay, all right. So I suspect that they are actually they are involved in some money laundering activities as well. So that is why it got the US attention. Okay, so this is in Malaysia. All right, in Malaysia. What about in other countries? Okay, so in this case, another case here. Okay, so Romanian cybercrime suspects extradited to face US charges. Okay, so what is what was their charge? Okay, what are they charged for? Okay, apparently they released a malware. Okay, called Bayrock. Okay, a Bayrock. They released this malware and to steal money lah. Okay, of at least 4 million from victims. Okay, so again, who asked them to? Who is the one that initiate the charge? Okay, or initiate the extradition? Okay, led by FBI. Okay, so you have the local police, the Romanian National Police, as well as the FBI. All right, that eventually capture them and extradite them to the US to face criminal charges or cybersecurity criminal charges. Okay. All right. So as you can see here, all of these are tied together. Okay. You do not just see that, oh, Malaysia is Malaysia, or Malaysia don't have this law. You can safely do some cyber criminal activities. Not necessary. Okay. They are cross-border enforcement, as you can see here. Okay. And Malaysia has an example as well. Okay. This happened, I think, not too long ago. I think this year or last year. Okay. The news on this or this year or last year. Okay. So all right, with that, okay, let's take a short break. But during this break, I will give you the attendance, and after that, I will brief you a little bit on the midterm. Sorry, not midterm, the practical test. Okay, on Wednesday. Okay, what you should expect. All right. Okay, so attendance. All right, so this is for L1. Okay, this is L1 also, but this is for 1, 2, 2, 3, and this is for L2. Okay. E. All right. Anything? So you can post at chat. You scan now lah. Or you print screen now. Yeah, you print screen, then you can get everything already. Okay.
Sir.
Yep.
Can I ask, what other options can we use to brute force besides using word list?
I think Dr. An wants you to I think Dr. An wants you to find out yourself. They are. There you see, How Young already posted there. Okay, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. They are. For sure. Okay, done. Okay, so oops. Okay. All right. So now a little bit information on Okay, a little bit on the information for the your practical test. Okay, your practical test. So again, as I've already posted in the Rebel, okay, so it will be on Wednesday. Okay, practical test. So practical test. So it will be on Wednesday, 6 p.m. Wednesday 6 p.m. Okay, so it will be 10th of one. All right. So what we're going to do here is on that day, all right, we will meet in MS Teams first. Okay, MS Teams for attendance. Okay, and then the questions. Okay, and then questions will be opened in Rebel. Okay, so we'll meet here first. Okay, for attendance. Okay, we will meet here for attendance, and then subsequently I will open the link. Okay, question link. Okay, question link. Okay, or the test link. Okay, not question. Test link. Okay, the test link will be opened in Weber. Okay, so then after everybody has taken the attendance, then I will open the link. Okay, it is a 40 minutes. The duration is 40 minutes. Okay, there will be 24 questions. Fill in the blanks. Okay, 24 questions, fill in the blanks. All right, and the questions will be randomized questions. Okay, so don't say that, hey, why your friend never get this question, why you get this question, all these things. These are randomized questions. Okay, fill in the blanks. Each of you will get 24 random questions. Okay, fill in the blanks. All right. Now, yeah, some of you have asked me, do you need Kali Linux? Do you need Windows Virtual Machine? To answer the question, no need. Okay, to answer the questions. Okay, you do not need those virtual machine to answer the questions. But okay, but you can use those virtual machine to verify your questions, to verify your answers. Okay. Like let's say I ask you a question, all right, you don't know whether that's the correct answer or not. You can actually use the virtual machine to verify whether the thing is correct or not. Okay, but to answer the questions in Babel, you don't need a virtual machine one. Okay, all right. So all the questions are covers okay, covers topics from lab 1 to lab 3. Okay, so it will cover topics from lab 1 all the way to lab 3. Okay, now very important. Fill in the blanks. When we say fill in the blanks, okay, the answers are single word, okay, or value. Okay, it will be a single word or value. All right, all blanks all the blanks are either single word or value. Okay, and ensure, this is very important. I have to stress this. I can't stress this enough. Ensure there are no blanks. Okay, before or after your answer. Okay, this is very important. Okay, ensure there are no blanks before or after your answer. Let me show you one example here. Okay, All right. So this is an example lah. Okay. I just make a question here. Okay. Just to give you an idea on how does the fill in the blanks. Of course, we will not use Excel lah. Okay. Of course, we will not use Excel. Okay. But just to give you an idea. Okay. So all right. So let's say, all right. So this is the all your questions will be marked by Weber. Okay, all your questions will be marked by Weber. All right. So let's say here the subject code for cybersecurity is what? Okay, just an example. Okay, of course I won't ask you this kind of questions. All right, but just to give you an idea how filling the blanks will work. Okay, so the subject code for UCC for cybersecurity is what? So you will answer UCCN 1223. Okay, so now you can see here, if you put it, you put it without blanks or anything, okay, you get the correct answer. Okay, but if let's say you see you have an additional space in front, just an additional space in front, okay, you get wrong. Okay, so this is very, very important. Okay, because again, if you look into like Linux commands and all these things, all the different commands that you have played around, okay, whether there is a space or no space, it makes a difference. Okay, so very, very important. All your answers, like I mentioned, all the answers, they are no blanks. Okay, no, you won't see the answer correct or not live. Of course not lah. All right. Got time slot like 6 to 8 or we will start after the meeting. Okay, that means we won't have lecture on that day. Okay, that means we just come, I'll give you a short briefing, take your attendance, and then I'll open the link. Okay. All right, then you have 40 minutes. Okay, the answer is not case sensitive. Okay, so it's same as here. Okay, so as you can see here, all right, if UCCN 1223, right? If I put case sensitive, if let's say I put U, okay, it's still okay. All right, so answer is not case sensitive, so you don't need to worry whether it's capital or small letter, doesn't matter. All right, but the blanks are very important. Okay, so even if let's say in the front I put a blank, okay, can you see wrong? Okay, why is it wrong? Although it's still UCCN 1223, because you have a space already. Okay, you have a space in front. Okay, so again, I already warned you guys, all right, all answers, there are no blanks. You need to make sure there are no blanks before and after your answers. Okay, very, very important. Okay, so again, penetration testing. Okay, so what is the testing tool used? Okay, the penetration testing tool used is Kali Unix. All right, is what? Is Kali Linux. Okay, so again, yeah, of course this one you won't see lah. All right, but I'm just showing you how the system will actually mark your answers. Okay, all right, I'm just showing you how the system will actually mark your answers. So you this one you need to be careful because they actually check the spaces. Okay, so you need to be careful with your answers. Okay, so and like I mentioned, all answers, there are no blanks before or after your answers. Okay, so very, very important with this. Okay, take note of this. Okay, any questions? Any questions on this? I've already posted this in Webull, and I've also posted this in MS Teams. Okay, so on that day, I will activate a link. There will be one link there. You open, all right. Then you will see the questions. But again, they are randomized questions. So don't get asked, hey, question 1 is what answer? If you ask your friend, all your answers will be wrong. Okay. So is like Microsoft form. No need, you don't need to download. You don't need to download. There's no form. Everything is through Weber. Okay, then there are no things to download. So the only thing important is make sure you have access to Weber. All right. For those who are attending physical class, again, make sure you update your health declaration every week and all these things. Okay. So because if let's say you did not update your health declaration or your vaccination status, they will block you and bar you and all these things. So yeah, make sure you have your access to Weber and everything is working good. Okay. Any free marks question? No free marks question, of course. So this test will be 10%. Okay, this test will be 10%. Okay, subsequently, there will be a midterm test. Okay, subsequently there will be a midterm test which is 20%. Okay, midterm test will be 20%. And then you have your assignment has already been posted, right? Assignment, which is another 20%. Okay. So you have practical test 10%, midterm test 20%, assignment 20%. Okay, and finally your FA, okay, which is 50%. Okay, so all this will be 100%. Okay, 50 plus 20, which is 70, plus 20, which is 90, and plus 10, 100%. Okay. No, some questions is 2 marks. Okay, some questions are 2 marks, some questions are 1 mark. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, make sure you fill in the blanks with the correct answer. Okay, 24 questions only. All right, because this is only 10%. All right, so yeah. Okay, so again, topics to cover, related relevant topics to cover is from lab 1 to lab 3. Okay. All right. Okay, so let's continue with our lecture. All right. So now, you already learned about cyber crimes. Okay, cyber crimes and cyber law. Okay. So now, as an organization, okay, as an organization, you know cyber attacks occur. Okay, you know cyber attacks occur. So how much should an organization actually invest for cybersecurity? Okay, so how much? Should we allocate 50%, 70% of the budget on cybersecurity? Okay, then and how much should be done to prevent a cyber attack? Okay, so in order to determine all this, okay, you will need to do some risk management. So this is where risk management comes in. Okay, this is where the risk management comes in. Okay, so what do you actually need to do in risk management? Okay, first you need to know yourself. Okay, you need to know yourself. Okay, what is your core business? Okay, what are your core assets? Okay, and you need to know your enemies. What are you exposed to? What are the possible threats or attacks that can occur on your organization? Okay, and then what are the responsibilities of all your departments? Okay, the departments within your organizations. Okay, so what are the responsibilities of all these departments? Okay, all right. So this is an overview okay, of the risk management. Okay, and of course under risk management you will have risk identification, risk assessment, and risk control. Okay, so first thing, of course, you need to identify what is at risk. Okay, what is at risk? And after you identify, okay, these are the assets that are at risk. Okay, you need to assign a value on the risk. Okay, let's say you have 2 assets. Okay, you have a, let's say you have a server and a database. What is the risk of the server? What is the risk of the database? Okay, so in this case, that is where risk assessment comes in. You actually analyze and provide a value, okay, a value to the asset that you have. And after you have assessed your risk, what are the strategies that you can do to control those risks? Okay, so this is essentially the phases that are involved in risk management. Okay, so first, of course, identifying risk. Okay, identify what are your assets. Okay, how do you prioritize your assets? Okay, so this one, there is no guideline for you to refer to. Okay, because this depends on the organization itself. Okay, for example, an e-commerce organization compared to a logistics organization. Okay, a logistics company, e-commerce company compared to a logistics company. Okay, a logistics company, their asset would be the delivery, the van, the lorries, or the delivery mechanism. It can be the driver itself. So it can be people, it can be the vehicle. Okay. Whereas for an e-commerce company, okay, what is their asset? Their asset is all the clients, or the customers, or the vendors. Okay, the vendors that are selling their stuff there. Their database. Okay, then their asset is also their bandwidth. Okay, because like let's say like 11/11 Shopee sale is coming. All right, so they need to ensure there is additional or sufficient bandwidth on their system, so that all the at 12 o'clock on 11/11, when people want to start buying things, okay, it is able to handle the traffic. Okay, so depending on the different companies, okay, for example, social networking. Okay, social networking is their asset is actually the subscribers. Okay, the more subscribers that you have, then the social network becomes more important. Okay, what about for teleconferencing, like companies like Zoom? Okay, so their assets is in terms of their the system itself. Okay, how does it enable people to conduct meetings online? All right, so you need to do some risk identification. Okay, and with that, how do you do the risk identification? You need to evaluate your asset. Okay, what is the most critical thing in your organization? Okay, so like I mentioned, okay, for e-commerce, what are the important assets in the organization? For logistics, you need to know. Let's say for social networking, you also need to know. Teleconferencing companies, okay, all this you need to know what are the important or the key or the core assets. Without this asset, your organization, how to say, will be crippled already. That means won't function properly already. Okay, so if take for example, okay, let's say an antivirus company. Okay, antivirus company, their core asset, of course, is their antivirus software. But if let's say their antivirus software fails to protect against, let's say, a ransomware, a type of new ransomware, so again, the antivirus, their core business is crippled in this sense already. Okay, people will have less trust on this company. They will shift to another company, okay, for their antivirus solution. Okay, and then you, apart from knowing your assets, you also need to prioritize your threats. Okay, you need to prioritize the threats, meaning that you need to know, let's say as an e-commerce company, what are the threats? Okay, what are the threats for an e-commerce company? Okay, so you have threats like, for example, for an e-commerce companies, you have threats like, of course, being hacked. Okay, an attacker or hacker hack into the e-commerce platform and steal out credit card information. Okay, because nowadays like Shopee, Lazada, all this, they rely a lot on this e-wallet. How do you top up your e-wallet? Okay, most of the time you will use either your online banking or through your credit card. Right? So all this information are actually stored in the Shopee and Lazada database itself. So these are the threats that can occur. Okay, people access or hacked into the system and steal out the information. Okay, or what are other threats? Let's say for an e-commerce company, what are other threats? Like denial of service attack. Okay, during their special sale day, when people try to access, they cannot access. Okay, because they cannot access the system. Okay, to purchase their stuff until, let's say, after the sale period has ended. Okay, so this is just one example on e-commerce. Okay, what about for logistics company? Okay, the threat can be on the, let's say, flood. Okay, a flood. When a flood occurs, all right, the vehicles might be stuck. Okay, they cannot send the goods to the destination. Okay, so these are possible threats. Okay, other than that, the pandemic is another threat to a logistics company, because if, let's say, there is a COVID-19 cluster among the drivers, then people cannot the drivers cannot drive the vehicle and the goods cannot be delivered. Okay, so as part of the risk identification, you must know your assets, you must evaluate your assets, but at the same time, you must also evaluate the threats. Okay, evaluate the threats. Now, after you have identified, you have done your risk identification, then you need to analyze the risk pertaining to the threats and pertaining to the assets that you have. Okay, so this is where you put in a rating, a value or a score to those assets and threats. Okay, that means you need to have a value. Okay, why is that important? Okay, because if, let's say, you say, okay, an e-commerce company, or let's say the logistics company, okay, you have your drivers and you have your vehicles. Between these two, which is more important? Is the driver is more important, or is the vehicles more important? Okay, so you then, and how do you determine that? Okay, how do you determine, if, let's say, you say the driver is more important? How do you determine that? What is your benchmark to say that the driver is more important than the vehicle? Okay, so this is where risk assessment comes in. All right, so we will show you, okay, in the subsequent slides, we will actually show you one method on how risk assessment is done. Okay, how risk assessment is done. Okay, so it will involve, number one, the likelihood. Okay, so likelihood is the probability. Okay, I don't know, maybe you still remember your props and stats. Okay, your probability and statistics. Okay, so this is where now you actually implement probability into cybersecurity. Okay, in terms of risk management and risk assessment. Okay, so likelihood is the probability that an attack will occur or an incident will occur. Okay, usually is between 0 to 1. Okay, the probability of 0 is usually you wouldn't really see one. Okay, usually there will be some risk. Okay, some likelihood that it will occur. Okay, so 0.1 to 1. Okay, 1 is confirm will happen. Okay, 1 is confirm will happen. Okay, the likelihood of 1 means that confirm this incident will happen or this attack will happen. Okay, and likelihood of 0 means it will not happen at all. Okay, so number one is you need to know what is the likelihood of an an incident will occur. Okay, so this is where you need to how do you do this? How do you determine this value? Is by looking at the history. Okay, the history of occurrence of attacks. Okay, from there you can come up with some values on this. Right now, subsequently, then you determine your risk. Okay, from the likelihood, you can actually calculate the risk. Okay, so an example here. Okay, so risk equals to the likelihood of vulnerability occurrence multiply with the impact. That means if let's say this attack occur, what would be the monetary impact on your organization? Or what is the monetary, the money impact? Okay, the impact in terms of money, okay, on this asset. Okay, minus the percentage of risk already controlled. That means usually you will have some form of control already. Okay, you can, you know that it can occur. So maybe let's say you know that a DOS attack or a virus attack might occur. So maybe your preliminary precaution is you already install antivirus, a free antivirus on all the systems in your computer. Okay, so minus the percentage of risk already controlled plus the element of uncertainty. Uncertainty is what if it doesn't happen? What is the probability that this incident does not happen? Okay, so this is the equation here. Okay, this is the formula to determine risk. Okay, to give a value on the risk. Okay, so this is an example here. So if let's say you have an asset, okay, an asset A, okay, has a value score of 50. Okay, so this is the value lah. Okay, so 50 can actually represent maybe in money, maybe it can term in terms of 50 million, something like that. Okay, it can be a monetary value. Okay, so A has a value score of 50 and has one vulnerability. Okay, it has only one vulnerability here. Okay, this asset has only one vulnerability. Okay, and this vulnerability has a likelihood of 1. That means it will occur. When it occurs, it's just a matter of when, but it will occur. Okay, the likelihood of occurrence is 1. Okay, I'm just giving you a scenario here. Okay, so this asset is worth this much, 50 points, and the likelihood of an attack is 1. At the present moment, you do not have any control. Okay, that means you do not have any you do not have any steps to protect against this attack. Okay, and if let's say it's a virus attack, you have not installed any measures. Okay, no antivirus or anything. Okay, and you estimate that assumption and data are 90% accurate. Okay, 90% accurate. That means you assume that the likelihood of this attack, okay, this attack occurring is 90%. 90% it will occur. Okay, or you estimate that this information that you obtain here is 90% accurate. Okay, 90% accurate. So how do you calculate the risk here in this case? Okay, so we know that the likelihood of occurrence is 1. Okay, 1. Okay, and the impact is 50. Okay, so likelihood times asset value. Okay, so 1 times 50. Okay, minus the control, what we have already controlled. Okay, so in this case, we say that there is no control. Okay, there's no control. So we multiply the likelihood of occurrence, multiply with 0 because there's no control. Okay, and what are the uncertainty? Okay, we know that this data that we obtain is 90% accurate. Okay, so since it's 90% accurate, there is a 0.1 chance, okay, 0.1 chance that this will not occur. Okay, there is a 0.1 chance that this will not occur. So it does not occur, then we are safe from this. So that's why we have to include this as well. So this is the likelihood that it will occur minus the controls that we have done and minus the likelihood that it does not occur. Okay, the likelihood that it does not occur, right? So eventually we get an estimated risk value of 55. So you can actually do this measurement here, okay, on your assets. Like, let's say again, back to the logistics, you can actually evaluate the risk of your staff. You can actually evaluate the risk of the vehicles. You can evaluate the risk of your, let's say, your system, your logistics management system. Okay, and then from there you get a value. Let's say one is 55, another one is 65, another one is 75. So then you will, from here, you will know which asset is higher risk, has a higher risk compared to other assets. Okay, so this is the purpose of having risk management. It's not to just say, oh, this is high risk, this is low risk. Okay, it gives you a value so that you can make a more discrete decision. Okay, based on values, not just based on qualitative evaluation. Okay, high, low, medium. Okay, no. Okay, this is more standardized. Okay, more standardized. This. Okay, then subsequently, after you have evaluated your risk, okay, so you will identify the possible controls. Okay, what are the strategies that you can do to manage this risk? Either to mitigate this risk, to reduce the risk, or to manage this risk. Okay, so in terms of controls, you can actually generalize it into 3 categories. You can have some policies, you can have some programs, or you can have some technologies. We are talking in terms of cyber security. Okay, we do remember that we are still in cyber security. So you can implement policies, you can implement programs. Okay, we'll look specifically into this later on. Okay, policies, programs, or technologies. Okay, but what can you actually do? Okay, what are the actions, the reactions you can actually do? Okay, having to know your risk. Okay, how you can react to that. Okay, so the 5 strategies or the 5 reaction that you can do is defend, transfer, mitigate, accept, or terminate. Okay, these are the 5 strategies. Okay, the 5 strategies that you can implement. Okay, after having known your risk. Okay, so let's see in detail. Okay, these 5 strategies. So defend. Okay, defend is you will start to invest money. Okay, you invest money, or you invest your resources to prevent this attack from ever occurring. Okay, that means you invest money to prevent this attack from ever occurring. So for example, if you know a denial of service attack, okay, this system or this asset of yours is at risk from denial of service attack. Okay, so you start to invest in a firewall. Okay, you invest in internet security, you invest in a network management system. Okay, and you invest in a larger bandwidth capacity. Okay, that means you increase your bandwidth from, let's say, 1 gigabits per second, you increase it to 2 gigabits per second. Okay, so these are what we call defend. That means you put in resources to prevent this attack from being successful. Okay, so this is defend. Okay, transfer, okay, is you try to shift the risk to somewhere else. Okay, you try to shift the risk to somewhere else. Again, back to the example of an e-commerce network. okay, e-commerce system, okay, like Shopee or Lazada. Okay, so initially maybe all their servers and database are on their premise. Okay, all their servers, database, their routers, everything is on premise. Okay, they call it on-prem, on-prem, okay, or on-premise. Okay, so after evaluating, after doing the risk assessment, okay, then they decide their reaction after knowing the risk is to transfer, meaning that they will transfer the risk, okay, to somewhere else. Okay, for example, okay, so instead of having their database on premise, okay, their database and servers on premise, what they can do is they transfer it to a cloud base. Okay, cloud base for data management and storage. Okay, such as they transfer from their on-premise system, they transfer it to AWS or to Google Cloud or to Ali Cloud or to Tencent. Okay, Tencent also they have a cloud. Okay, so they transfer it all to the cloud. Okay, and let the security be managed on the cloud rather than on premise. Okay, so this strategy is what we call transfer. You transfer the risk to somewhere else. Okay, another one is to mitigate. Okay, mitigate. So mitigate means to reduce the impact. Okay, that means you do something to blunt the attack. Okay, to blunt the attack of a particular of a particular attack. Like you want to blunt the effect. Okay, blunt the effect of a particular attack. For example, okay, mitigation strategies can be in terms of denial of service attack. Okay, now instead of investing entirely on firewall and internet security to prevent the attack, a mitigation strategy could be to invest in a load balancing system. Okay, a load balancing system, and you have multiple mirrors. Okay, multiple mirrors. Okay, of the system all across at different location, and then you invest on a load balancing system. Okay, so this will this prevent a denial of service attack? The answer is no, it will not prevent a denial of service attack. The denial of service attack can still occur, but you can mitigate, you can actually reduce the impact of the denial of service attack because we have mirror locations in mirror systems in different locations. So if an attacker tries to attack, they only can attack in one specific location. Okay, whereas the other locations can still function and provide the necessary services. Okay, so this is what we call mitigation. We reduce the impact. Okay, of course, another one is accept. Okay, meaning that we just do nothing. Okay, we just do nothing. We just accept, like if they want to attack, they attack. Okay, this can occur if you just accept. If let's say after you do your risk evaluation, okay, you notice that the impact of this attack, okay, is very small. Okay, the impact of this. So let's say the impact of a ransomware attack, okay, to the system is small. So in this case, you just don't do anything. Okay, meaning that if they want to encrypt, you are not worried because you have maybe backup already. You have multiple backups at different locations. So if let's say a ransomware do occur, you are not worried. Okay, so in this case, you can just accept the attack. Okay, so this is accept, and finally terminate. Okay, terminate. Terminate means end the service. Okay, don't even offer it. Okay, I can give you an example on terminate. Okay, terminate as in end of support for Windows XP. Okay, end of support. We know that Windows 7, even Windows 7, Windows XP, they are end of support already, right now. Okay, so why do they want to why do Microsoft want to have end of support for Windows XP and end of support for Windows Service? Because after doing their risk analysis, okay, and as well as the cost benefit analysis, okay, they determine that it is not cost effective. Okay, it is not cost effective to keep developing more patches, more security patches for this operating system. Okay, so in this case, they will just end the support for this operating system, and it may perhaps focus their resources to developing better operating systems such as Windows 10 and now coming Windows 11. Okay, so this is one example on terminate. That means we just end this service or end this support. Okay. Yeah. All right. Now, so having said that, okay, you already know the risks. Okay, to know how to identify your assets which are at risk. You also know how to identify the how to evaluate your risk and what are the actions that you can take to mitigate and to address those risks that you have determined. Okay, so these are the three things that we have discussed so far. Okay, risk. Okay, so risk identification, risk assessment, and risk control. Okay, so far we have discussed all this already. Okay, so now having said that, all right, so you already know what actions you should take. Okay, so the next thing is how much should you invest? Okay, how much? What is the expected cost that you should invest to implement certain strategies? Okay, certain strategies in risk management. Okay, so this is where you have the feasibility studies. Okay, the feasibility studies. Whether is it worthwhile to should I invest 1 million, okay, in my cybersecurity? Okay, or should a company just invest 500,000, okay, to implement this cybersecurity risk management? Okay, so this is where the feasibility studies comes in. Okay, and one of the method, okay, of feasibility studies is what we call a cost benefit analysis. Okay, a cost benefit analysis. Okay, so cost benefit analysis, what it does is it assign a cost. Okay, you assign a cost to the item being evaluated. Okay, you assign a cost. You need a monetary value. Okay, you assign a cost to the item being evaluated. All right, so let's see an example here. Okay, so one, again, cost benefit analysis, there are many types of formulas and equations that you can view for cost benefit analysis. Okay, so one of these is this one. All right, you calculate the annualized loss expectancy. Okay, in 1 year, what is the expected loss that can occur should a cybersecurity attack occur on the organization? Okay, so the formula is annualized loss expectancy equals to single loss expectancy multiplied with annualized rate of occurrence. Again, this is cost benefit analysis. You're measuring now in terms of money. Just now you are measuring in terms of risk. Okay, now you are measuring in terms of the finance. Okay, the money. Okay, and the single loss expectancy, okay, is measured as the asset value multiplied with the exposure factor. Okay, how much of this excess of this asset is exposed to the threat? Okay, so you can see this is a real life, a real world scenario here. Okay, on denial of service attack. Okay, so this case study comes from CCNA Security. Okay, so again, we are not trying to make your life difficult by putting all these values here. All right, these are really standard practices in organization. Okay, on risk management and cost benefit analysis. Okay, they are really being practiced on. Later, I will show you Bank Negara policy things as well. Okay, some policy statements. Okay, so you will see that what we are learning today again is not something to make your life difficult. Okay, but is really being implemented in organizations as well. All right. So all right. So this is to determine how much a company, okay, should invest, or how much a company should allocate, okay, to prevent this denial of service attack. Okay, so in this case, first he calculate the single loss expectancy. Okay, the single loss expectancy. So again, the single loss expectancy is equals to the asset value multiplied with the exposure factor. Okay, the exposure factor. So in this example, he determined that his asset value is 250 million. Okay, so this is a large organization. Okay, a large organization. Asset value is 250 million. Okay, and the exposure factor to the attack is 70%. Okay, so the single loss expectancy is about 170 million. Okay, meaning that if an attack occurs, okay, it will lose this much. Okay, 170 million. But this value is of course not realistic. Okay, asset value is 250. Single loss expectancy 170 million. Okay, it's not realistic lah. Okay, all right. So they further calculate in further detail. All right. So if let's say a denial of service attack occurs, okay, a denial of service attack occurs, it will not happen 365 days all the time. It will not occur the whole year. All right, it will occur maybe about 1 day. Okay, one day. Okay, that means when an attack occurs, the estimate duration of the attack is about 1 day. Okay, so in this case, if let's say an attack occur for 1 day, okay, so it's 1/365 multiplied with 170 million. So in this case, the single loss expectancy, that means if an attack occurs, okay, for a particular day, it will cost them $465,000. Okay, if it occurs, it will last for 1 day and it will cost them for $465. Okay, and then in 1 year, if let's say 3 attacks occur, all right, then it will cost them 1,397,000. Okay, this is the annualized loss expectancy, meaning that for the company, he should allocate about 1.3 million a year to prevent this denial of service attack for this company. All right, for this company. Okay, so this is again for you to evaluate, okay, and give an estimated value on how much you should invest in cybersecurity. Okay, and this is where risk analysis, risk assessment, cost benefit analysis comes in. Okay, all right. I will take an additional about 10 minutes. Okay, of this time. I will try to finish up this thing. Okay, I will try to finish up this thing, and for the rest of this, I will just go through very quickly now because it's just more on the policies now. Okay, so the next thing is we'll be talking about the best practices and the policies. Okay, so one of the best practices is to do a benchmarking, or what we call a security audit. Okay, a security audit. So this is where the skills that you learn for penetration testing comes in. Okay, so next time when you do work for a company that deals with security audit, okay, that is where all your skills on how to hack, okay, how to do a brute force attack, okay, will be handy, okay, because this will be, you will actually use this to perform attacks or penetration testing on the organization which you are evaluating or you are auditing. Okay, so why the company wants to do this? Because this is actually a best practices to actually test their system in the real world. Okay. Okay. So in this case, what can be done? What can be done? We already analyzed the risk. We already analyzed how much we should invest. Okay, how much we should invest in for cybersecurity. So now what can we actually do? Okay, what can we actually do in reaction to this? Okay, so one of them is, of course, to implement policies. Okay, to implement different policies in terms of cybersecurity. Okay, now I'm sure some of you will already know in Utah itself, we have policies on email policies, we have policies on computer usage, internet security policies. So these are the different policies that are already in place. Okay, to ensure the cybersecurity. Okay, to ensure cybersecurity. Okay, so let's see some of this. Okay, so information policies. Okay, information policies. So as you are well aware, okay, for our Utah system, the information that is accessible to lecturers versus the information accessible to students are different. Okay, of course, as a lecturer, we can access more information. Okay, for example, a university, you can access the student records, exam questions, teaching records, and all these things. As a student, of course, you do not have access to this. Okay, so this is in terms of information policy based on your current status, whether you are a student, a lab officer, or a lecturer, or a administrator, a university administrator. Okay, so each of us have different access to the information. Okay, then you have user control. Okay, user control. So again, as a lecturer versus a student. Okay, you have your lecturer. We have our lecturer ID card. You have your student ID card. Okay, with our ID card, we can access more places compared to your student ID card. Okay, and then we have a lecturer login versus student login. Okay, so when I access to portal, the Utah portal, I will be able to see more information compared to as a student when you access to the Utah portal. Okay, so this is in terms of user control. File control. Okay, so you can have policies such as any files from a company workstation that are transferred or copied to an external drive will be automatically encrypted. Okay, this I have seen this in real life. Okay, one of my colleagues, okay, one of my not my colleague, one of my friends, okay, he's working in a telecommunication organization. Okay, so he has a laptop. Okay, he has a laptop, and he told me that if let's say you would to take a thumb drive, you take a thumb drive, and you try to copy any files out of that laptop to the thumb drive, automatically the files will be encrypted. Okay, automatically. Okay, the files will be encrypted when you copy the files out from the laptop to the thumb drive. By automatically, it will encrypted. It will be encrypted. Same thing if from that laptop you try to attach a file to an email. Okay, so email you open. Let's say you open your Gmail, then you take attach file. So let's say you select a file from that particular laptop. Right? Automatically, when it attaches the file will be encrypted. Meaning that anybody who tries to view the file outside from the laptop will need the access, will need a secret key to decrypt the file. Okay, So this is one instances of file control, okay, for security policies. Okay. Audit, we already mentioned. All right, that means you conduct benchmarking, okay, as well as all the activities within a network will be recorded. Okay, so this occurs even in Utah. That means any websites that you visit using Utah computer, even from the lab, okay, all of this will be logged. That means they will actually record which website you visit. Okay. In terms of network, all right, in terms of network, so such as you have VPN access. That means when you want to access the university's database, all right, you need to use VPN, a VPN software. Okay, if you notice carefully, okay, in Utah, when you access the library database, okay, you are actually going through a web-based VPN. Okay, it's called easy proxy. All right, easy proxy. Okay, another example. All right, all network connection must go through the proxy server. Okay, that is for Utah as well. Okay, all the internet connection from Utah must go through the proxy server. Okay, this is in terms of network for security policies. Okay, security policies for network. For antivirus, okay, yeah, if you look at all our Utah computers, we actually subscribe to the Sophos antivirus. All right, so this is a very common security policies. Okay, that is done. All right, then you have data security. Okay, so there are some files that are top secret, some files that are confidential, some files that are used that are for public disclosure. Okay, so like let's say Utah, the program information, okay, information on the program structure, all this is common information. You can actually share it to everybody. Okay, but information such as the exam questions or questions for the practical test this Wednesday, all these questions are confidential. You do not have access to it. Okay, and we have to keep these questions confidential as well. All right. Other than that, internet usage policies. Okay. So in Utah, if let's say you want to there is actually a cap. Okay, a minimal usage on internet. You cannot simply on the, let's say, view all these videos, okay, and download large files. Okay, you will actually get an email from the IT department to ask you why are you using such high internet capacity. Okay, and then you have emails. Okay, so for example, certain bank institutions in Malaysia, okay, some of my friends working in the bank, when they want to access their company's email, they only can access it within the building. They must go to the company, then only they can access the company's email. Okay, so this is some policies, security policies, okay, with regards for email. Okay, and backup policies means how do you actually perform the backup? How does let's say for Weber, how does Utah perform the backup? Does it perform incremental backup? That means every day they add to the original file, or do they have perform a full backup, meaning every day they will back up a complete copy? Okay, so these are different policies on information backup. And incident response means what can be done if, let's say, an incident occur. Okay, so this will be whether an organization has an incident response team. Okay, whether they set up an incident response team. Okay, so finally, This one is in defense in depth. That means in terms of the security architecture. So remember in the first case study that I mentioned just now, okay, one of them is they didn't implement their security architecture does not implement this defense in depth. Okay, so defense in depth actually means that, okay, so perhaps I show you, as the traffic travels, okay, let's say this is the internet, from the internet, as the traffic travels deeper into the network, okay, this is the organization's network, okay. Defense in depth states that as the traffic travels deeper into the network, the security level will increase. Okay, so this is what we call defense in depth. As you go deeper, okay, so you can see this in terms of this structure as well, this architecture as well. Okay, there is some form of defense in depth. Okay, meaning that from the outside, from the internet, if the public wants to access, let's say the web page, or let's say some file transfer, okay, file transfer services, okay, or some email services, okay, all these services will be located at this first level. Okay, we call this the demilitarized zone. Okay, the demilitarized zone. So all this traffic will access to here. But if let's say staff, okay, a staff from the organization wants to access, let's say, the database, okay, so you will actually need to pass through this demilitarized zone. You will need to pass through a filtering, two filtering routers. Then only you can access the database here. Okay, so this is what we call defense in depth. As you go deeper, as the traffic goes deeper into the organization, the level of security increases. Okay, so it can have Dr. An has already discussed with you about firewall and DMZ, right or not? So in terms of firewall configuration, there is one layer firewall. There is also two-layer firewall. Okay, two-layer firewall. So a two-layer firewall means that there is a firewall at this side, okay, at the front end, and there is a firewall at the second level as well. So to access, let's say, the internal database from the outside network, you have to pass through two layers of firewall. Then only you access. This is what we call an application of defense in depth. Okay, defense in depth. Okay, so finally, of course, for all the staff in an organization, apart from applying policies, apart from investing in physical devices to implement cybersecurity, you also need to implement training, program training and awareness. This is what we call SETA, okay, Security Education Training and Awareness Program, okay, SETA program, okay, meaning that you actually train your staff, okay, to be aware of cybersecurity, such as what you are doing now, okay, what you are learning now on cybersecurity. Again, not all staff in an organization will be aware. Okay, not all staff knows that if let's say they receive an email stating that they won $500,000 in a lottery. Okay, not all staff knows that that is a fake email or a phishing email. Okay, they might just click that email and yeah, and not all staff in an organization, maybe including you, okay, they knows that if let's say they found a thumb drive on the street, or let's say they found a thumb drive in the car park, they are not supposed to take that thumb drive and try to open it in their computer. Okay, so not all staff knows about all these precautions that they need to be aware of. Okay, so this is where security education, training, and awareness comes in. Okay, so in terms of training, there's actually a lot of this ethical hacking trainings. Okay, such as you can see here lah. This is by EC Council. Okay, EC Council is another organization that provides ethical hacking training. Okay, so they have a certification as well, as you can see here. Okay, CEH, we call it CEH certification. Okay, other than that, this is another organization called MAL2. Okay, so MAL2 is also another organization that provides cybersecurity certification. Okay, and since just now I already mentioned, okay, they are organization that provides audit and also cybersecurity certification. Okay, so finally, okay, before we end, okay, just want to show you, okay, whatever we study here, next time when you go to the organization, let's see, okay, let's see. All right, in an organization, okay, where is that? That's my folder. Oh, here, this one. Okay, let's see this is the final one, just to show you. Okay, so this is a document that I got from Bank Negara. Okay, this is from Bank Negara. Okay, so risk management in technology, there's such thing. Okay, all that we have learned today, there is not here to pull to make your life difficult, to make you read more, all these things, but there is such thing even under Bank Negara. Okay, so if you look at things like this, you have things like cyber resilience framework. Okay, cyber resilience framework. So if you look at things like we have things that we have discussed about just now. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so you have things like risk tolerance. Okay, the framework must be able to support effective identification, protection, detection, response, and recovery. Okay, on premise or by third party. Okay, we talk about risk tolerance as well, cyber risk, cyber resilience objective. Okay, so all that we have discussed today actually are being implemented in organizations as well. Okay, it is part and parcel of whatever that is being implemented. Okay, so yeah, that's let me stop the recording. Okay, that's about it for our